everything changed, and so I'm back at home, but I'm heading out. So that's why I'm on my phone and it's vertical instead of the other direction. Anyway, this is day 4, I believe, of having your own back during stressful times. And today I wanted to bring up the element of allowance. What is allowance? Well, it's one of the 5 elements of intimacy, and a really simple way of explaining allowance is um, what this author and podcaster Mel Robbins talks about. Let them. It's like let people be them. Let them choose, let them do. Don't try to control it. You don't have to have a point of view about what other people are doing, but also is let you and let you do and be whatever it is that you'd like to choose. Sorry, I'm closing some windows on my computer because it's doing weird stuff behind my phone. Uh, yeah, so in Access Consciousness, we talk about allowance instead of acceptance, because accepting is more solid and it doesn't allow things to morph and become more and change. Whereas allowance, it's like it's seeing everything that is without judgment and recognizing that it's not right, it's not wrong, and if it doesn't work for you, you can choose something different, but allow people to have their points of view, their choices, their judgments, if that's what they're into. And it doesn't necessarily mean anything to you. It's just what they're choosing. So let them have it, right? I think a lot of times people can have more allowance for other people, but they don't necessarily have allowance for themselves. And that's been the stickier part for me, is having allowance for me, because I can be like, all right, whatever, no problem. I can roll with it, right? So last night, as an example, we were picking up my son from the airport, and there's a lot of holiday travelers traveling right now. It's kind of crazy. So there was a lot of traffic, and we were okay with that. Hi, everybody. Thanks for saying hi. So we're in the traffic, and we're good with it because we knew that his flight was coming in and about to land, and so we had to kind of creep slowly because we didn't want to be there too soon, because they'd make you go around in a circle again. You can't park right at the pickup zone. Thank you. Thank you for the comments. Thank you. So anyway, so we're in allowance, and my daughter's driving and I'm with her. And there's people who are just, they're so rude. It's like, we're not moving. And why would you cut somebody off? Why would you be a jerk when you're going to pick up the people you love at the airport? And it's a happy moment, right? So we're going along and we're letting people cut in, and then we needed to turn and nobody would let us in, and we were like, all right, whatever, people are people. And then at a certain point, we were waiting and waiting and waiting. We did have to circle once, and I remember texting my son and saying, have you deplaned yet? Because they were waiting on the tarmac. They didn't have a gate available, and it was a half an hour delay. And it took us 25 minutes to get to the spot. So, so we circle around again, and we're getting close to getting up to the place to pick him up. And I was like, okay, enough. I can have allowance for all this mayhem and no problem. But then there comes a time to be like, I need this to work for me. And so I did some of the access consciousness numbers where you kind of throw these energetic numbers. And I did 5, 9, 11, and I did some 24s. And I just was like 24, 24, 24, 24 under my breath because, my daughter doesn't want to know what I do, the magic I do. And literally 3 seconds later, he says, "We're moving now. We have a gate." And just as we pulled up, he was walking out the door. And it was just wonderful. Like, you don't need to get uptight. If you're in traffic, you're in traffic. And I know in India, there's a lot of traffic too, I've heard. Like, why get upset? Be an allowance of where you're at and where other people are. And if they're going to be assholes and not let you in, why do you want to have any of that stick in your body and create anger and upset? It's not worth it. It's not worth it. So if you need to do some numbers, do some 24s, allow it to change. And what would it take to have allowance for the situation, have allowance for yourself in all situations? So that's my story on allowance. And, it spills over into personal relationships when other people aren't acting the way you would like them to act. You can't control people, you know? You got to give that one up because it doesn't work. So everywhere you haven't had allowance for other people or allowance for yourself, will you start to destroy and uncreate that, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all 100 shorts, boys, povads, basies, creations, and beyonds. And if you're new to this, that's the Access Consciousness Clearing Statement. And you can find out about it on my YouTube in the playlist for Access Consciousness Clearing Statement. Okay, what else? Any questions? I don't see any questions, so enjoy playing with this tool, and I hope it gives you some freedom, and have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll see you tomorrow for my last free live. And if you'd like to join me on some of my telecalls or upcoming classes, please check out my website, julietootenenergy.com, and subscribe and like and share this if it helped at all. Thanks so much. Bye.